Good afternoon, everyone. Mehran Fardis channel. Today I'm here with my friend Shervin. You guys might know him from a show, Shahs of Sunset. I've known him as a capacity of a friend for a long time, and he was kind enough to allow us to come to his house today and have this conversation with him. The reason I'm here today is we want to. We've had this 3% man and women series for a while now. Basically, I'm looking for people that are falling into the 3% category of population. People that do what they do with an extended drive. I find Shervin to be that kind of a man. He's a 3% man in my opinion. So today I want to understand what makes him do what he does. So Shervin, thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you. It's good to see you after a long time.
Thank you very much.
And I appreciate the compliment.
So it's not something, it's not because of, I've always felt that you had this drive. So I'm going to just dive into it. What moves you to do what you do? What gets you up in the morning? What gets you out the door? Where is your drive coming from?
I think it really comes down to what you determine to be the purpose of life. If that makes sense.
So what is your purpose of life?
In life it's about experiences. It's about understanding, it's about doing something today that you hadn't done yesterday. It's about looking back tomorrow and appreciating that you made today count. Life's short, and growing up, as I went to, unfortunately, started to go to funerals of friends, of family members, young friends, and I sat there, looked at them in the hospital when they're terminal, and I'm thinking what this person would give to have one more day, one more hour. So to me, that day that I have when I wake up and open my eyes, it's a gift. It's something that many people unfortunately don't have, didn't get enough of. So it'd be foolish not to use it. And so I get up in the morning and I make everything count and I experience as much as I can. And I want to live with no regrets. A mistake is exciting for me. I love making mistakes. You only learn lessons in failure. You never learn lessons in success. Nobody wins a lottery and stops and thinks, how did I come up with these numbers? It's he who puts his entire life savings and work and effort, takes a risk to really try to build something and fails, that really sits down and assesses every step of the way and every lesson that needs to be learned. So when I fail, I get excited. I'm about to learn something.
Tell us about one of your failures. What you consider your failure and how you learn about it.
In business, I've had a lot of failures. And I've learned a lot of lessons doing it. I had a car dealership back in 2008, beginning of 2008.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember?
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was a high-line car dealership and the market changed and turned. And that was when the market crashed. Here I am sitting in a dealership with Bentleys and Porsches and Ferraris and nobody wants to buy them. So I lost quite a bit of money. The lesson to be learned was I was hard-headed. It's because it's what I loved. I assumed somebody else was going to love it. And I didn't move with the wave of the market.
Yeah.
And the market changed. The market changed to Toyota Camrys and Hondas because gas got triple the price.
Right.
So that's what I should have done, is moved along with it. But I refused. That was a lesson I learned. I was lucky. My core business is I do IT asset recovery. And a lot of that includes liquidation of tech companies.
Right.
So when I'm in the stage where I'm liquidating a company, normally I'm the last guy that comes in. Everything that they can sell, they have sold. Literally, I come in, the place looks like a war zone, some cubicle walls have been knocked down, there's paper on the ground, it looks like a war happened here. There's nobody left. The very last room is that founder. And he looks like he hasn't shaved or showered for a week, and his collar's messed up, and his hair is messed up, and he's hating life because now he needs to figure out what he's going to do all over again. And when I come in there, all he wants is somebody to talk to. So I learned quickly to shut up and listen. And I sat there and I listened, and what they're telling me is they're telling me their experience and the lesson they've learned. Now I can choose to learn that the hard way and experience it myself, or I can take their lesson and apply it to my life and have a shortcut.
Do you feel like you had just a sense from being young that you pick things up fast, or do you think it was an influence of someone else over your life? Was it your parents? Was it someone else you knew, a mentor, that taught you this early on in life to make the everyday count?
Very, very much so. You know, I do believe that's a lot of nurture versus nature. I definitely do have a drive, and that would be I definitely have a strong will. That doesn't necessarily mean it can be applied in a positive way, and that's my nature. But by nurture, my father taught me a lot. He taught me about the rules, these traditional rules of what men do and what men are supposed to be and what makes you a good person, what makes you a bad person. And not saying ouch, and providing and working and creating your own land, putting your own flag in. And, you know, I don't knock some people, they're very fortunate, they're born with, as we say, a silver spoon in their mouth. They've got very large trust accounts, they live very lavish lifestyles, they're having a great time, and, you know, I don't knock them for it. But I also see that they have a very big void in that drive department. There's no need. You know, another lesson my father taught me, he said you can't go hunting with a full stomach. So it's important to remain hungry.
Right.
And you know, when somebody's full, they're not going to go hunting.
Right.
So yeah, there was a lot of lessons, such as the few that I just mentioned, that my father gave me. And it meant a lot. And to this day, as you see right now, I always give credit where it's due and acknowledge that he was the one that taught me those things. And they did. They brought me to where I'm at. There's no secret to it. There's no secret to success. There's no secret magic potion or a secret hole that's going to make you zoom ahead and skip all these steps. There's no secret. It's just as simple as you work hard, you don't quit, determination, motivation, and you'll get there.
Everybody has bad days and good days. We were just talking about one of our friends who has bad days these days, and it happens to everybody. When that happens to you, when the thoughts creep in, what do? How do you manage yourself on those days? How do you get up and encourage yourself when things seem gloomy to you?
You know, it's funny because I just had some really, really bad days these past few weeks, and I was talking to business-wise. I was talking to my business partner. I was very cool and calm and collected. And he said, "Shervin, how come you're always so calm?" And I said, "You know, Shahin, my business partner, I said, a couple months ago, we unfortunately had to attend our other close friend's father's funeral. The call that he got when it was time to have to bury his father, a million times worse than all the calls that we got put together. So be grateful for what you have, even the bad things, because they could be worse."
It's very good.
So I don't believe in anything being bad. I'm thankful that it's not worse. That makes sense?
Yeah, that's very good. That's a very good attitude. Two more questions I have for you. I have a lot of questions, but I don't want to make this long. So I've known you for, I don't know, 20 years or 18 years, yeah. And although you've grown, we all grow, your essence has stayed the same. That's something that I really admire about people. You know, no matter where life has taken you, you're still the same person. And that's, to me, carries a lot of weight. That's a lot of value. Is that a conscious thing you do, or is it something just you don't even think about it? That's weird. People change. You have changed in your professional life, but you stayed a person as you were.
People change.
How is that?
You know, Mehran, it's funny you mention that. When I moved out here and I got into entertainment, this is a whole new world, and you know, it's also very commonly known to kind of eat you up, right? Change the person, process you almost like a big machine, a big grinder. And everybody warned me, Shervin, don't change, don't become LA, don't become Hollywood.
Right.
And I think I didn't, I hope I didn't, you know, it makes me feel better that you acknowledge that you're somewhat, I'm still the same person. My theory about being successful in money or changing, you know, falling into the public figure and the public eye and not changing is that if things are going good, you don't change the formula. I'm successful, I'm able to attain things that I want because of who I am. The second I change who I am, I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue this path.
Things will change too.
Yeah. So you see, you don't fix something that's not broke.
Right. That's fantastic. You just mentioned that you started this entertainment show for life. How's that? How does that make a difference to your life? I mean, you were always a businessman before. Now you're still a businessman, but you're more into the public eye. Has it changed anything for you?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed. I never expected to have certain opportunities, certain places to be or people to meet. I mean, just simple enough as red carpets, or taking my mother with me on a red carpet and having the magazines interview her too. You know,
That's great.
None of us expected for that to happen. It's all been fun, and the whole reason that I even took on this opportunity goes back to your first question and my first answer. Life is about experiences, and I want to do something today that I've never done before, and I want to look back from tomorrow and think yesterday I used my day, and here was an opportunity to do something that not everybody gets a chance to do.
Right.
And so I've always been curious how, if I've watched TV my whole life, what happens on the other side, right? So it's been a fun ride. It's been a very interesting experience. It's had its good and bad like everything else,
Right.
but I have no regret. I would not change any of my decisions for nothing. It's been fun. It doesn't really affect my businesses per se. You know, my tech businesses, I'm dealing with, you know, very important executives in Fortune 50 corporations. They don't really care if I'm doing something dumb on TV the night before to give me, you know, an order for $40 million in servers. So it doesn't really affect that. It has opened up some opportunities where, because obviously your exposure has grown exponentially, and more people know that you now exist.
Right.
And they know about some of your qualities and some of your strengths, and they find synergies where, hey, you know what, I think you would be great for this opportunity or this opportunity. And for that, I've been very grateful as well, because it has provided me so much more opportunity and more potential paths to
That's
take.
good. So what's next for you?
What's next? I don't know. You know, I've got an opportunity to potentially be in the production side of entertainment this coming year, and that's something I haven't done. And again, I like to have experiences.
A new thing to do?
Yeah, it's a new thing to do, so maybe I give it a shot. This past couple of years, I focused a lot on my hospitality industry. I have some restaurants and lounges and stuff, and that's been fun. I mean, I've learned a lot about it. It's a tough business, but you know, it's as long as I'm learning, Mehran, I'm living.
Yeah.
Right? It's when I stop that. What's the purpose?
That's right. That's fantastic. I really appreciate the time
Thank
you
you.
spent with me today, Shervin. You really answered my questions beyond my expectations, and candid as always. I'm truly grateful, and
Appreciate you.
hopefully we'll talk soon again at your future ventures and future events.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing. I think it's awesome, and thank you. I'm honored to be part of it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Have a good day. Thanks.